Hello students, this is my lecture number 3 from unit number 5. Name of unit is spectroscopic techniques. In our previous two lectures, we were discuss about the UV spectroscopy, the electromagnetic spectra we study, the instrumentation of UV spectrophotometer we were study. Then we also study about the electronic transitions as well as the terms used in UV spectroscopy. In this lecture, we are going to study about the IR spectroscopy. Let's see what is the content of this lecture. This is the lecture number 3 where we are going to study about IR spectroscopy, in which we are going to study the types of molecular vibrations. What are the types of molecular vibrations? Then second point which we are going to discuss is the instrumentation of IR spectrophotometer, and as well as we are going to study the applications of IR spectroscopy. This is the content of the lecture which we are going to study here. Let's see one by one. First thing is the IR spectroscopy. What is IR spectroscopy means, or what is the meaning of IR radiations? The electromagnetic radiations having wavelength range 0.76 to 200 mu, or the wave number range is 12,800 to 50 per centimeter, are called as infrared radiations. In electromagnetic spectra, we study about the electromagnetic spectra, in which we study about the different radiations. IR radiations are there, radio radiations, microwave, UV, visible, as well as IR radiations are there. So the range of the wavelength is 0.78 to 0.78 to 200 mu. So that radiations are called as IR radiations or infrared radiations. After absorption of IR radiations, the molecules of chemical substance vibrates at different rates of vibrations. When IR radiations are absorbed by the molecule, always molecule shows vibrational excitation. When we consider there are different types of excitation according to the radiations which are absorbed by the molecule, we observe the different types of radiations. Excitations. When the IR radiations are absorbed, we observe the vibrational excitation. So after absorption of IR radiations, the molecules of chemical substance vibrate at different rates of vibration, giving rise to closed packet absorption bands. These bands are called as absorption spectra. So when the IR radiations are absorbed, different vibrations are observed, and it depends upon the chemical structure or the substances which are present in that, and it is given in the form of a graph that is called as IR absorption spectra. Various bands present in IR spectra corresponds to characteristics, functional groups, and bonds present in chemical substance. When we observe the spectra, we observe that there are various bands are present, and these bands are present due to the different characteristics, as well as the functional groups are present in the compound, as well as the bonds present in the chemical substance. So by studying this IR spectra, we can analyze what type of functional groups are there, or what type of bonding is present in the given substance. So this is the infrared region. When we study the electromagnetic spectra, this is ultraviolet region, and this is the visible region, and this is infrared region. So when we consider this infrared region, the infrared region which we observe here is the region where the different ranges are also we observe here. The range is near infrared range. That near infrared range is 0.8 to 2.5 mu. is the range which is called as near infrared region. Then the main infrared region, it is it is near infrared region, which is 2.5 to 15 mu, and far infrared region means 15 to 200 mu. So that is the region which is called as infrared region, means you can say that 0.8 to 200 mu. In previous slide also we discussed that it is the region which is 0.28 to 0.78 to 200 mu. So the same thing I am explaining here in this slide. This is called as the infrared region. So this is the infrared region, this is the visible region, ultraviolet region, visible region, and this is the infrared region, and these are the range of infrared regions. Then there is a question in the exam which is asked, which is what type of vibrations, molecular vibrations we observe when the IR radiations are absorbed by the molecule. So as I told you that when IR radiations are absorbed by the molecule shows vibrational excitation, means the electrons gets vibrate. And what type of vibrations are there? The molecular vibrations are classified in this way. There are two main types of vibration. First is the stretching vibrations, and second type is a bending vibration. These stretching vibrations are again two types, symmetrical and asymmetrical, symmetrical vibrations and asymmetrical vibrations, as well as there are bending vibrations. These bending vibrations again classified into two types, the bending vibrations which we observe in plane and the bending vibrations which we observe out of the plane. In plane there are two types, scissoring and rocking. In outer plane we observe two types, again wagging and twisting. So these are the molecular vibrations which we observe due to absorption of IR radiations. Let's see one by one what is the meaning. Molecular vibrations are two types. First, as I told you, stretching vibrations, and second one is a bending vibration. They are mainly classified into two types, stretching and bending vibration. What is stretching vibration? These are the characterized by change in internuclear distance. Why it happened? Because there is a change in internuclear distance. The distance between two atoms increase or decrease, but the atom remains in the same plane. This type of vibration we observe in the same plane. It does not change the plane, only what happened, the distance between two atoms is increase or decrease. Here the distance, whatever the distance present in the atom, it increases or decreases. In short, you can say that the bond length will be increased or decreased. That is, the distance between two atoms increases or decreases. It is called as stretching vibration. Again, these stretching vibrations are divided into two types. The two types are symmetrical stretching vibrations and asymmetrical stretching vibration. What is symmetrical stretching vibrations? The atoms of a molecule either move away or towards the central atom, but in the same direction. It is called as symmetrical stretching vibration. If you see in the diagram, this is a symmetrical stretching vibration. This is the central atom, and these are the two atoms which are bonded with this. If you see in this diagram, they are moving toward away the central atom. Both are moving away to the central atom. Both the direction is same. Both are moving away to the central atom. They may be move away or they may be move towards the central atom. This type of vibration is called as symmetrical stretching vibration. Here the distance between two can be changed. So this is the symmetrical, where the movement of atoms of a molecule either move away. In this diagram, they are moving away to the central atom. They may be moved towards the central atom. It is takes place in the same direction. It is called as symmetrical stretching vibration. Opposite to that, there is another type which is asymmetric stretching vibration. One atom approach towards the central atom while other apart from it. In this type of vibration, if you see, this is the central atom. In the diagram you observe, this is the central atom, and these are the two atoms which are bonded with this. So here you observe that this atom is approached towards the central atom, and this another atom is apart from it. So here one is moving towards the central atom, one is moving away to the central atom. So here direction is opposite. One is moving towards the atom and another is moving apart from the central atom. So here this is the direction which is opposite. This type of vibration is called as asymmetrical stretching vibration. So these are the two types of stretching vibration, symmetrical and asymmetrical. With the help of diagram you can easily understand the difference between them. Here the moving of the atom is away or towards the central atom, and in the asymmetric, one is moving towards the central atom and other is apart from the central atom. So this is called as asymmetrical stretching vibrations, and these are the two types, symmetrical and asymmetrical are the two types of stretching vibration. The next is bending or deforming vibration. Next type of vibration, first is a stretching and second is a bending or deforming vibrations. What it means? They involve movement of atoms which are attached to common central atom such that there is a change in bond axis and bond angle of each individual atom without change in their bond lengths. So here bond lengths are not changed, but the bond angle and bond axis can be changed. This is called as bending vibration. Here when you see the diagram, one by one explain you the types, you will get the idea. Here movement of atom is with the central atom again, and it is attached with the central atom where the bond angle is changed, bond axis and bond angle is changed, but the bond length is not changed. That is called as bending vibration. Bending vibrations generally occupy less energy and occur at longer wavelengths than the stretching vibration. Here bending vibrations require less energy, and that's why the longer wavelengths are absorbed. These bending vibrations are again different types of bending vibrations are there. There are main two types. In plane they are observed are called as sinusoidal and rocking vibrations, and out of plane which are observed, the out of plane the bending vibrations are observed which are called as wagging and twisting vibration. Let's see with the help of diagram. First type, the bending vibrations which we observed in plane. So there are two types, sinusoidal and sinusoidal vibrations. These involve movement of two atoms in the opposite direction, that is towards each other or away from each other in the same plane. This vibration we observe in the same plane, and what it means here, these involve movement of atom. This is the central atom and these are the two atoms which are attached with this. The movement of atom in opposite direction. They are moving towards each other or away from each other. In this diagram, both the atoms are moving towards each other. That is, their movement is opposite to each other. One is moving towards your left hand side, another is moving towards right hand side. So their movement is opposite to each other. That means they are moving towards each other or away from each other, but the movement takes place in the same plane. It is called as sinusoidal vibration. The another type is rocking vibration. It involves movement of two atoms in the same direction. In this diagram you observe this is the central atom, yellow colored round shaped circle is denoted central atom, and these two are the another atoms which are attached with the central atom. So here these two atoms, if you see, their direction is towards our right hand side. So both are moving towards same direction. It is called as rocking vibration. They may move either left hand side or right hand side, but both the atoms are having movement towards one side or in the same direction. So this is called as rocking vibrations. So There are two types of bending vibration. First two types which we observe in the same plane. First is a scissoring vibrations, where movement of atoms towards or away from each other. It is called as scissoring vibrations. And another is both the atoms move in the same direction. It is called as rocking vibrations. Both are bending types of bending vibrations which we observe in the same plane. Then there are vibrations, bending vibrations, which we observe out of the plane. There are two types again, wagging vibrations and twisting vibrations. What is wagging vibrations? These involve movement of atoms up the plane or below the plane with respect to central atom. It is called as wagging vibrations. Means this vibration we observe out of the plane. You see in the diagram, this is the diagram for wagging vibration. This yellow circle is denoted central atom, and these two blue circles denote the atoms which are attached with the central atom. So here positive sign, if you observe in the diagram, positive sign shows above the plane and negative sign shows below the plane. So if you see both the atoms here shows positive sign, means both the atoms moves toward above the plane. So here movement of atom is above the plane. So this type of with respect to central atom, it is called as wagging vibration. They move either up or they move either down, but both the atoms shows same movement. So it is called as wagging vibration, which we observe out of the plane. Opposite to that, there is another type is called as twisting vibration, where if you see, this is the central atom, yellow circle, and these are the two atoms which are attached with the central atom. If you see this atom, it is having positive signs, mean it moves up or above the plane, and this shows negative sign, mean this is moving below the plane. So what is twisting vibration? These involve movement of atom up, one atom up and other atom down the plane with respect to central atom. So here one atom is moving up, another atom is moving down. This is called as twisting vibration. So there are two types of vibrations which we observe out of the plane. One is a twisting, another is a wagging vibration. So these are total 6 types of vibration which we observe. Main two are the stretching vibrations and bending vibrations. Stretching vibrations are again classified into two types, the symmetrical, asymmetrical. Then bending vibrations, they are 4 types of vibration, two which we observe in plane and two out of the plane. In plane, bending vibrations are scissoring and rocking, and out of the plane the vibrations which we observe are wagging and twisting. So they may ask you this question, explain the types of molecular vibrations which we observe by absorption of IR radiation. So these are the types. We explain it with diagram. The next point is the principle of IR spectroscopy. What is the principle used in IR spectroscopy? If a molecule absorbs IR radiations, IR means infrared radiations, it gets excited to higher vibrational energy level. By absorption of radiations, it moves from low energy level to higher energy level. This excitation we observe. The type of IR wavelength absorbed by the molecule depends on type of atoms or chemical bonds in the molecule. There are different types of IR wavelength which we observed in previous slide. So which type of IR wavelength are absorbed by the molecule? It completely depends upon what type of atoms are present in the molecule and what type of chemical bonds are present in the molecule. So this is the principle of IR spectroscopy. By absorption of IR spectroscopy, electrons excited to the higher energy level. Then there are some conditions. When these conditions are followed, then only IR radiations are absorbed. It is called as conditions of absorption of IR radiation. This IR absorption occur only 2 conditions if followed. The first condition is there must be a change in the dipole moment of the molecule as a result of a molecular vibrations The change in the dipole moment allows interaction with the alternating electrical components of the IR radiation wave. the symmetric molecules does not absorb IR radiation since there is no dipole moment. In previous class you study about the dipole moment. If the dipole moment is present in the molecule, then only IR radiations can be absorbed. There must be change in the dipole moment of the molecule. As a result, molecular vibration we observe. So that is the first condition. When dipole moment is there, then only IR radiations is absorbed. If we see the symmetrical molecules or symmetrical bonds, in that the dipole moment is not present, so IR radiations does not absorb by the symmetrical molecule. The second condition is if the frequency of the radiation matches with the natural frequency of vibration, the IR photons is absorbed and the amplitude of the vibration increases. If the frequency of radiation is matched with the natural frequency of vibration, what is the frequency of vibration is applied, or when the IR radiations are absorbed, at that time the frequency of the radiation must be matched with the frequency of the vibration. That is the second condition we follow, then only the IR radiations are absorbed. So there are two conditions, then only the IR radiations or absorption of IR radiation takes place. First condition, the molecule must contain the dipole moment, and second, the frequency of radiation match with the natural frequency of vibration. So these are the conditions of IR radiations. The next is the instrumentation. IR spectrophotometer. What type of instrument it is? This is the diagram, schematic diagram for the IR spectrophotometer. There is a source, then this is a double beam spectrophotometer, so there is a reference solution and a sample solution, then there is a monochromator, and finally there is a detector. So when we consider the diagram for IR spectrophotometer, this type of diagram is expected to draw. There is a source, then reference and sample solution is there, then there is a block monochromator, after that there is a detector, amplifier and recorder. So this is the diagram. Let's see one by one the components which are present in IR spectrophotometer. The first component is source. The source is always some form of filaments which is maintained red or white heat by an electric current. When electric current is applied to that filament, red or white light is maintained. Always the source is in the form of filaments. For example, Nernst filament, which consists of mixture of rare earth oxide, or Glauber filament. It is a rod of silicon carbide. So this type of these are the examples of source which are used in IR spectrophotometer. The source is the source of IR radiations. Then second point is the sample cells. The sample cell, the material containing sample must be transparent to IR radiation. The material which is used for making the sample cell, it must be transparent to the IR radiation. So the material made out of certain salts like NaCl or KBr etc. are used. So the material which is used for making the sample cell is NaCl or KBr. So that sample cell must be transparent to the IR radiation. For example, when we consider the solid sampling, if the sample is in the form of solid, then the solid sampling can be done by solid run in the solution. The solid is run in the solution and that solution is taken in the sample cell and then it is analyzed. If the sample is in the form of liquid or gases, then the liquid and gases sampling can be done by using KBr and NaCl. So liquid and gases, they are taken in the KBr or the NaCl sample cell, sodium chloride and potassium bromide sample cell, and then it is analyzed. So this is the second point which is called as sample cell. Then the third component of IR spectrophotometer is monochromator. Prisms or gratings are used as a monochromator. They are used to select desired radiation frequencies. Why we are using the monochromator? Because we need the desired frequencies, whatever we need, and that radiations frequency we want to select, and for them different type of prisms or gratings are used as a monochromator. For example, prisms are normally made of the metal halides like NaCl or KBr, sodium chloride or potassium bromide. So this is the material which is a metal halide. It is with the help of this material prisms are normally made, and that prisms are used as a monochromator in IR spectrophotometer. Then the next is detector. Detector, what it means? Thermal detectors are needed to detect changes in the sample. Whatever the changes we observe, it is detected with the help of thermal detectors. For example, thermocouple or bolometer or Golai detector. These are the detectors which are used to detect the sample. Then the last point is the amplifier and recorder. Amplifier, what is the role of amplifier? Amplifier amplifies the signals from the detector and it sent to the recorder. Whatever the signals which are in the form of light, they are converted into electrical energy and it is sent to the recorder. Recorder give IR spectra of a compound as a graph. Always spectra is in the form of graph, and that graph is of percentage of transmission of IR radiation versus wavelength. So the spectra which we observe, it is in the form of graph which we get with the help of recorder, and it is a graph of percentage of transmission versus wavelength. So this is the instrumentation of IR spectrophotometer. Source, the role and the examples, sample cell, the role and the example, monochromator, detector, amplifier and the recorder. So this is the instrumentation of IR spectrophotometer. Then the last point is applications of IR spectroscopy. Where we can use this IR spectroscopy, what are the applications? Let's see. The first application is determination of functional group and structure. If we want to determine the functional group and what type of structure of compound is present, for that we can use IR spectroscopy. How it is? All functional groups absorb radiation within definite range, which help to identification of functional group of the compound. Each and every functional group absorb a particular range of the radiation. It is defined, definite range is absorbed by the functional group, and by identification of that we can if we know that what range is absorbed by the compound, we can easily determine which functional group is present in the compound. So that is the first application. Then second is study of kinetics of chemical reaction. It is also used to study the chemical reaction. How it is? A comparison between IR spectra of reactant and products can help to determine the course of a reaction. If we study the spectra of reactant and the spectra of product, by comparing their spectra, we can determine the course of the reaction or kinetics of the chemical reaction. So it is also used to determine the kinetics of chemical reaction by comparing spectra of reactant and product. The next application is detection of hydrogen bonding. Bonds due to hydrogen bonding appears at lower frequency. IR spectroscopy gives information regarding hydrogen bonding. If the hydrogen is present, the bonds which we observe, they are absorbed, or bonds always appear at low frequency. So if the low frequency bands which we observed in the spectra, it means hydrogen bonding is there. So IR spectroscopy gives information related to hydrogen bonding. The next application is detection of impurities. If the impurities are present, the spectra which we observe for impure sample and the spectra which we observe for pure sample, by comparing between them we can easily determine whether the sample is or the compound is pure or not. IR spectra of impure sample will show extra absorption bands. By comparing with the IR spectra of pure compound, presence of impurity can be detected. If impurities are there, then definitely some extra absorption bands we observe than the pure compound. So that we can easily determine by comparing IR spectra of pure compound and impure compound. By studying the absorption spectra, we can easily determine whether it is pure or not. And the next application is determination of size of the ring ketones. What is the size? That also can be determined by studying the spectra, IR spectra. So these are the applications of IR spectroscopy. So remember that in IR spectroscopy, in this lecture, whatever the part which we covered is also important, in which main basic where the question will be asked based on the part is the molecular vibrations. What are the molecular vibrations? Stretching, bending and their types. Then the instrumentation of IR spectrophotometer, the diagram and the components with explanation and example is important, as well as the conditions of IR spectroscopy, the principle of IR spectroscopy and the applications of IR spectroscopy. This is the part which we study in this lecture. So prepare the questions and the proper answers for that. Thank you.